Well, here we are. I don't know what's wrong with my reverse camera, so we're filming this one in selfie mode. Let's go. What's up, guys? We're going a little weird this time, but we're going to make it work. Also, Chris here, TN2M Shows, Talk Nerdy to Me, Friends with Benefits podcast. Here to do another sit-down stand-up, and I'm getting ready to head to beautiful Davenport, Iowa later today. It's a weird bit, but you'll hear about it on the show. So we're gonna just kind of awkwardly keep changing hands. Nope, that's not gonna work. So we're gonna do this. So just had a couple like quick trip stories I was gonna tell you guys. First one, when I was a freshman in high school. No, freshman in college. I'm sorry, not freshman in high school. I definitely did not go on a spring break trip to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, when I was a freshman in high school. So when I went with a bunch of friends, we did the whole like 7 dudes in a Days Inn hotel room. It was gnarly. It was as gnarly as you'd expect. So we go after we're in town for about a few hours, and we go and get some supplies, which was alcohol and snacks and all that. So my friends are all carrying back a bunch of like beer and things like that, and I'm standing in the back with a 20-ounce Sprite and a thing of oh my gosh, Pepperidge Farm, like the gingerbread man. And I'm a good like 15, 20 feet back. People are like honking when they drive by and stuff, and this, that, and the other. And so like while we're walking, this car just like veers off to the side, like stops and like starts trying to like talk to me. And I'm like, at first I'm like, oh God, what do they want? Like, what kind of crap are they going to talk? Here we go. And then they go, are you with them? And I was like, yeah, those are my friends. I'm with them. Like, we're all just hanging out, having a good time. And he goes, everyone who drives by is thinking, there's the 7 alcoholics, and you're their pothead friend. It was a good bit. It was a funny joke. So that was a good one. And, because they were all also very much like Abercrombie and Fitch, like American Eagle, like dressed nicer. I had on high top Chuck Taylor's, camouflage shorts, and a beaten up like baseball tee. Shocker. I was wearing a baseball tee. Never do that. So anyway, a few years later, I went to Florida with a couple different friends on. Nope, keeping it. We're just gonna keep it going. We're just gonna keep it going because this is funnier. Went to Florida on a trip with some other friends, and we just stayed in a couple hotel rooms in Florida the entire time. And we're driving back because we drove this time. This is the last time I ever drove to Florida. So we are driving back, and there is a overturned semi blocking every northbound lane to Atlanta. Every single lane. So we go 4/10 of a mile in as many hours, in 4 hours. Like, it is bumper to bumper. People have turned the emergency, like a car broke down in the emergency lane. So everyone who thought they were being a genius and trying to pass is also trying to merge back into traffic. So it's just this giant mess. And so we pull over. We decide we're going to eat it at an Applebee's because, it's 2006 and 5. Yeah, I can't remember. Whatever. Story's not really, or like the time frame's not really relevant. So we pull over at this Applebee's. We decide to eat, and because it's so random, one of my friends goes and gets his laptop, and he's like, "Oh, I have a why can't I think of what a book of an atlas?" He's like, "I have an atlas on my laptop." So we use an atlas to find a back way through Atlanta on a Saturday night. And secondly, like by the time we left this Applebee's, they were telling people it was going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours for a wait. That's how many people were just like, screw it. We are just gonna go. Like we know we're not going anywhere, so we're just gonna slow down and go. So we get on the road and we drive through downtown Atlanta on a Saturday night, and the sheer number of like college students and people like that are just partying on a fucking random Saturday in Atlanta was kind of funny. We had people, and also just the complete and utter disregard for what am I trying to think of here? Like street laws and jaywalking and that kind of stuff. Like, yes, there was an overturned tractor trailer on the interstate, but the sheer number of people we almost hit because no one was looking before they walked into the road. So yeah, that was a good one. And I got one more quick one, and then we're going to call it a day. Gosh, let me see. Where do I want to go with this one? So this one time I went to Georgia with Chris, but now you already know that one. So we'll just go in a different direction, and I will talk about Chicago. I went to Chicago in 2013. No. I went to Chicago in 2011, 2010. 2010, went to Chicago with my cousin. We drove. Wasn't a bad drive. Got where we were going and everything. And I'm getting like, what they want to do. They wanted to do something that I wasn't really interested in. So I was like, I'm just going to start heading back towards the house where our friends live that we were staying at. And I was like, I'm just going to start heading that way and we'll kind of go from there. And he was like, okay, sounds good. So I get on the L line and I run into a girl I went to high school with. Completely unplanned, completely like at just a very big moment of like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So we catch up for a few minutes, we grab a drink, and she's like, well, I gotta turn around and head back to work. And I was like, all right, cool, see you later. And I get back on the L, and I'm heading again back in the other direction. And I ran into an ex-girlfriend who was in Chicago visiting some friends. It was just this very strange, very weird, very like cosmic moment of like the universe being like, we're gonna screw with you a little bit. We're gonna screw with you just a little bit. So sorry, I know this isn't my best one. Very quickly, just kind of throwing together, running through the motions and all that, camera issues, getting ready for the trip. So thank you for bearing with me, and thank you for being my friends with benefits. Thanks for 50,000. That's really awesome. And I will talk to you all soon.